I thought today I would teach you guys how to make one of our very favorite lotions, which we actually keep in our refrigerator. So I have already made up some. I have some that's old. We'll open it up and see. And then I have some I made the other day, and I thought I would make a fresh batch. So we made this probably, I don't know, a week and a half ago or so, maybe 2 weeks, and it's actually still good. This is surprising. Normally it only lasts about a week or so, and you'll start noticing mold, but there is no mold in this. But I don't think we've used this batch as much as normally we use it, but it's a pretty amazing lotion, really thick, really creamy. You can use it as like an all over body lotion. It's light enough you could technically use it on your face. I'm gonna rub this in my hands. Here you go. Miss Maggie, will you hold that please? I like it because it's like totally non-greasy. So that's the kettle. I am boiling water in order to make the oat tea that this recipe needs. So, okay, now that that's rubbed in my hands, I also wanted to show you. So normally I keep it in this bottle, and this is totally fine. There's no preservatives in this lotion. So I thought I would actually try keeping it in a pump bottle. I bought these on Amazon. I've never made it in one of these before. Let's try it together actually. Let's see if I can get it to pump through. Oh yeah, pumps just fine. Perfect. So that's going to work. I was actually thinking the reason I wanted to put it in a pump bottle is there's less air getting to the lotion, and maybe it will last a little bit longer. It's not going to last really long, but it might last a little longer. Hey, Ben, can you come over here, please? I have extra lotion.
Not yet.
Yeah,
I'm playing with my Legos.
I know. Come here.
No, I don't want to get my hands
Okay,
greasy.
can I get it on your arms?
Sure.
Okay. Can I show them what happens to your hands? So his hands are not that bad.
Don't
Maggie, can you zoom in here?
Any on my hand.
No, I'm not going to. So they're just really rough, but sometimes you can see that little speck right there. They get really dry in the winter time, so we usually put this on. Thank you. Here you go.
No!
The other arm.
No!
Okay, well, he's not gonna let me do that.
It's too
You're all lotioned up.
I am all lotioned up. So this recipe originally started from Lovely Greens. I will link it down in the description for you, and I just did a full blog on this recipe with step-by-step instructions and the recipe and all of that. But I thought I would also do a video to show you how to make it. It's not complicated at all. So it's an oatmeal calendula lotion, and it is a true lotion, which means you are trying to mix oil and water, and that can be a little bit tricky, but I recently found out a new way to make it. And so if you've ever made hollandaise sauce, it's a very similar process, so you can do it. It's not that hard. Very simple. I do have a scale because that's what the recipe calls for, is to weigh your ingredients, but it's not a big deal. If you don't have a scale, you could probably just Google the measurements, but this is what we got for right now. So we're gonna put into this strainer a good heaping teaspoon of oats. I actually like a little bit more. It makes a thicker lotion. And then this is freshly boiled water. I'm gonna fill it all the way up. I'm just gonna let that steep while I do some of the measurements. The next thing we need to do is get our emulsifying wax measured out. And we're gonna do 8 grams. Perfect. So we'll put that in there, and then we will tare it and measure out our calendula oil, which is 16 grams. Okay, so we mix our oil and wax. This is a stainless steel pan. Try to get as much out as possible. Okay, and then I'm just gonna warm this on the lowest setting on my stove. All right, the next part we're just going to prepare while our oil is heating. A pro tip is when you're doing this, if you use a cooking pan like I do, you want to make sure that you get the beeswax, or in this case, the emulsifying wax out of the pan as quickly as possible. Just take a paper towel and wipe it out while it's still warm. Be careful because the pan is warm. I've done this probably hundreds of times, so I'm kind of used to it. But if you wipe it out, and basically you've just cleaned the pan, then you can wash it in your sink, because you do not want to put wax down your drain. I can promise you that. It will form a nice solid plug and you'll have to call the handyman to come clean your drain out. So don't do that. Don't do that to your husbands. They won't be very happy with you. But there you go. Nice and clean. There's our pan. I'll leave that in there for now. Okay, now you can see our lotion has gotten a little bit thicker here, but it is definitely not the same consistency as this, but as it cools, it will become thicker like this. So we'll just give this a little bit more time. Okay, so one of the things we accidentally did when we very first made this recipe, I had a big class, a big group of people over here. We were trying out some different homemade makeups and lotions and body products and whatnot. We made a lot of different things. We kept stirring and stirring and stirring and stirring this lotion because it sounded like you had to leave it on the heat. Well, you don't. You actually, the cool, and as it cools is what really makes the lotion thicken. And so making it in this hollandaise sort of technique is what helps it make a really nice thick lotion. And I don't know about you guys, but runny lotion is it's not great. I'll set you down here for a second. My film crew ditched me a little bit. But let's see if you can see that. No, you can't. So there you go. You can see it's still a little bit thick, but it doesn't take much to just let that cool, and it will thicken nicely into a lotion like this. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys today. It's a little bit shorter so that you could just have this recipe. And so I hope this is helpful for you guys. Let me know. See if this works for you. I find this is one of our very favorite things to put on our hands and skin for the winter dry months. And really, I've tried lots of other things. I make a pine salve out of our Idaho pine here, and that works really great on dry hands. I also make a whipped massage butter, which also works really great for dry skin, but nothing compares to this recipe right here. The only thing is like I said in the beginning of this video, is there are no preservatives in this. We didn't even put vitamin E oil in it. It actually changes the consistency, and I don't like it. So it will go bad. This, I would imagine, is going to be done within a couple of days. As soon as you see mold on it, you got to throw it out. I just put it in my compost pile, and I will keep you updated and let you know if it lasts a little bit longer in this. But again, it's not going to get a real long shelf life. Definitely want to keep this in the refrigerator. But you can use it as many times as you want. It does make a pretty tiny batch. You can see it only makes that much. So maybe 4 ounces maybe. So I like to make it, and I have another friend who loves this lotion just as much as we do. And so I just make it and share it with her, and we just trade things whenever we want to. So I don't have to worry about wasting my ingredients, and everybody gets a good lotion. And yeah, so let me know. Do you guys have a lotion recipe that you love? Please leave it down in the comments. If you have tips or tricks that you've used to make lotions, let us know, because this is definitely a tricky thing when you're talking about putting your oils and your liquids, your water together in a recipe. They don't combine well, so that's why you have the emulsifying wax. So anyway, I will see you guys in a video next week. I'm so excited for next week's video, but I won't spoil it today. So stay tuned. See you next week.